Hello everyone, and welcome to another glorious video of Show Guy Games. Today I am playing in the Mutsuki Destroyer. And basically this video today is to sum up how great teamwork is if your team has it. One thing to point out, if you happen to look down here in the chat, you can actually see the team actually responding, which is, well, great, actually. I love teams that actually respond to people and how they communicate with each other. And when you communicate with each other, you can actually, coordinate what you're going to be doing, who the people you're going to be focusing on firing at, and how you're going to be doing it. Now, I'm not actually going to lie here, this guy kind of took me by surprise at him popping up that quickly. But on the Mutsuki, I heard guns are basically pointless, and that's why I didn't actually return fire here until I laid down a torpedo spread. There you can see my actual teammates that are there behind me are actually placing fire into that destroyer. Now I will say I actually took a huge risk here on doing this, but if you ever find yourself in a situation that you need to, you can use these side mountains right here to actually stop yourself, and then you can reverse course and bring your torpedoes to spread. Can't actually see the guy yet.
The enemy team has taken the lead.
"30 seconds to torp reload. Now here's a big one. I actually expected him to show up a lot sooner than that. So what I did here is I squeezed my pattern down to a tight pattern, and I launched him the best I could tell that it would hit. And there we go, one destroyer down.
We've sunk an enemy destroyer.
Actually, on a side note here, I actually got extremely lucky on that first spread that I launched, because that happened.
We've destroyed an enemy cruiser.
Apparently that guy was pounding my Mogami cruiser. He was he was extremely happy to see that I did that, as you can tell down there in chat. Now here's something. Here's a big tier premium ship. It's an Atlanta class, rapid fire guns. This ship is perfect for destroying destroyers. As you can see, its rate of fire and just the sheer amount of shells that it places into people. I'd already used my smoke screen, so I couldn't do anything. So I was actually having to rely on my teammates here to actually focus fire him enough to get him off of me. And then once I hit the 5.9 kilometer distance, he shouldn't be able to see me anymore. And here I just kind of launched some torpedoes out in that general direction, hoping that he was going to backtrack his course that he did and maybe run into him. Worst case scenario is I scare him off with the torpedoes and I ain't going to worry about him chasing after me. My teammates there are really giving him a pounding too. But if you didn't notice, there was a Nagato battleship that came around that corner. One thing I will say though is on the Mutsuki, I personally prefer to use the shorter range torpedoes because they are way faster. They have a speed of like 60 some odd knots, whereas if you actually equip the 10-kilometer torpedoes, I can't think what type they are right now off the top of my head, but they travel at about a 54 knots, which it just seems to give the more people time to evade. That's why I equipped the shorter range 7 kilometers, which is, if you put them in a nice spread, you'll never be able to evade them. Now here I go, setting up my little trick again that I do. I've already launched my smoke screen, so it's going to build up and it's going to hide my presence, and it's also going to hide my torpedo launches. Waiting for it. There we go. Now I will say, looking back on this and watching the replay, I probably should have launched them in a tight grouping. Yeah, I really should have launched them in a tight grouping, but it works. It works. Now here I am just trying to turn myself back around so I can actually make a run for it if I need to. If you haven't noticed the actual team status, oh, there goes a torpedo. There's one and there's two. I only landed 2 into him, but it was still pretty good damage rolls. Yeah, anyways, getting back to the team status there. If you actually look at the team status, we've only lost 1 destroyer, and pretty much we wiped out half the other team. This is simply due to the fact of communication, team play, and knowing what your other person on your team is doing. This is key and point of what you have to do in this game to be successful. There's the Mahan. He's going in, and he's going to lay down a torpedo spread, I'm sure, for that Nagato. And I also have the Miyogi battleship sitting back here at the back. He was bombarding the Nagato. There's a Mogami class heavy cruiser that was back there, and I'm looking up there on the screen. It looks like a Congo class. Yeah, it's a Congo class. Actually, a little bit of side note here: the actual Congo in this game is not actually modeled after Congo. It's modeled after Hiei. If you happen to notice the rigging on her and the radar devices, you can tell that it is Hiei. And there goes the torpedoes into the Nagato from the Mahan, and she's out. You see how well team play comes into play? I will say this, from the rest of this game on, from now on, it was pretty much a rouse, and we didn't lose any other ships, and we ended up taking the rest of the caps. It was actually an extremely good game. And I will have to say, I am honestly extremely happy and extremely proud to have played this match with these people that were on here. Good guys. Good game, guys. Good game. And I think I'm just going to wrap it up here today with that right there. And I will tell you all, I will probably have another video up. Hopefully maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day. It all depends on how it all plays out. And this is Show Guys signing off, and y'all have a nice day.